Hello everybody, I'm back as I'm always going to be, and today I've got another video that I'm going to be reacting to because I checked my analytics and it seems like y'all really like these reaction style videos for some reason. Not my cup of tea, but I guess the more I'll do it, the better I'll be at it. Let's hope the recording doesn't mess up this time like it did last time. But all that being said, without further ado, all right, let me, name of the video. See, I told you I'm not that good at it. But all right, so today the video is how foreigners make Japanese uncomfortable unintentionally. Those are parentheses or brackets, whatever people like to call them, right? And it's by Mrs. Eats. She's actually a YouTube channel that I've been following for quite some time. She's some lovely Japanese lady. I don't know much more about her than that. I know she's married. She's got a Mr. Eats, and they're really fun. They're a lot of fun. All their videos are pretty fun. But this video came out about a year ago, and I have yet to watch it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Something that are normal in your country might be seen as awkward, confusing, or even annoying here in Japan. In America, you say, "Excuse me," but in Japan, we say, Japan is a country full of rules. We have rules for the train, rules for the bus, rules for the office. We even have rules for using chopsticks.
箸を割るときは必ず脇を締めましょう。脇が開いていると肘が当たって。
And yes, there are so many rules when you're around other people. But if you don't know these rules, you might be wondering why some Japanese people are trying to avoid you. Trust me, it's not because they are secretly discriminating against you. Or are they? Japanese are too polite to share any of these rules with foreigners. It's actually easier to move away from somebody who's making you uncomfortable than telling them directly. And one thing you need to know is Japanese people don't like to be direct. Well, except for when they do. Kancho! Check out our Kancho University shirt and other great merch. So, if you don't want to make Japanese uncomfortable, you should avoid these things. In Japan, we have the word smell harassment or perfume harassment. I was really surprised when I saw a poster that explains this type of harassment. But when I was in America, I was so surprised how many different fragrances there were. When I went to the mall, I could smell the air freshener, scented candle smell, etc. Also, I was surprised how strong the deodorant smells in America. I heard that Americans tend to enjoy more complex smell than Japanese people. Almost everyone I met wore some kind of perfume or deodorant. I don't think I ever met a person in America who had no smell. In Japan, the most popular scent here is no scent. For a lot of Japanese, the biggest reason to wear deodorant is to remove the smell, not cover it up. Of course, we have scented deodorants too, but they usually have light smells like mint, lemon, and soap. So the smells aren't so strong. It's more like a refreshing or relaxing. Also, in our society, there are situations where you are supposed to be scentless. Work and school are two of the main places. This might explain why we are so sensitive to these smells. And some Japanese people are so sensitive to smell that they don't even want to be around others who are wearing heavy fragrances. When I used to work in a hotel VIP lounge, I had many requests from Japanese guests that they want to switch their seat because the person at the next table was wearing very strong perfume. The scent was usually coming from foreign guests, and the Japanese guests felt uncomfortable with the smell of the perfume. Also, in some places in Japan, there's an unspoken rule not to wear too strong fragrance. In high-end sushi or Japanese washoku restaurants where people enjoy delicate flavors, you should be scentless. If someone's wearing too strong fragrance or cologne, it can ruin other customers' experience too.
Okay, never heard of that before. Like, no perfume, no smelly deodorant. People will move away from you. I feel like I'd feel more like I stink if somebody were to get up and move away from me versus like, oh, I smell too good, I guess you could say. Well, too strongly, as they would say. But like, That's weird, yeah, because like she said, Americans have this sense that like we need all these complex scents and stuff like that. And like I said, I love Crack and Guard from Old Spice. I love all kind of like oceany kind of smells and stuff like that. So like I don't know, especially someone who lives a more active lifestyle like myself. I sweat. I sweat a lot. I get stinky. I'm a fucking adult male. Like I stink. So we do have natural deodorants and stuff out here, like neutral smells and stuff like that. But I feel like they just don't do as good of a job. But like she said, it's to remove the smell versus cover it up. And I do kind of feel like we're more covering up the smell of ourselves versus removing the smell from ourselves. But like to not be able to go into certain places because of it, having people move away from you, like I said, I feel like I was stinky if that was the case. Like I smelled bad. Not, that's a weird one, but yeah, no, that's just a weird one for me to like wrap my head around. But hey, I get it. It's a different culture, you know? Let's keep going. I don't like
Japanese people see beards as dirty, scary, and aggressive. Why? The reason is history. Beards were acceptable at some point of Japanese history. It was a symbol of power during 1467 to 1615. In 1930, when militarism came to Japan, facial hair became a symbol of authority. After World War II, having no facial hair became common. As Japan's economy grew, more men were becoming office workers who wore suits. So a clean face became a symbol of a modern, sophisticated man. That's why beards aren't seen as a very good thing these days. There have been court cases that employees sued the company because employers asked them to shave. If they didn't, they would have their pay cut or evaluation lowered. The latest case happened in 2019 when two male employees of Osaka Metro complained that they were unfairly evaluated because they did not shave as their supervisors told them to. Although they won the case, immediately after the news, the mayor of Osaka tweeted, "What's with this ruling? I'm appealing. The old city transportation is a service business. It's unreasonable to say that they don't have to follow the rules when they set the grooming standards and the rules themselves are legal. This is not a private club. It is a public service organization. It is funded by customer fees and the taxes were used to make the subway tunnels."
Yeah, give me a second.
One eternity later.
I hope the camera's all good. I told him I was recording a video, not to bother me. But then he goes and bothers me and gives me a call. Anyway, let's rewind a little bit and keep going with the video. I'm sorry, y'all.
It is funded by customer fees and the taxes were used to make the subway tunnels. Of course, this kind of incident would never happen in America, right? I was really surprised to see how many men had facial hair. Some guys even make it part of their identity. But can foreigners have facial hair if they work in Japan? Of course, nobody has a problem with facial hair in public places, like on a train, on a taxi, or in a grocery store, or etc. In some workplaces, facial hair is differently okay. ECC is one of the biggest English schools in Japan. This teacher, he is always on the poster. Look, he has a beard. Also, if your work is more artistic, like designer, video game maker, etc., then beards are okay. But I haven't seen foreigners who work in bigger Japanese companies with big facial hair. I wonder maybe they had to shave it so they could work there? I'm not sure. But I can say there are certain positions that require you to shave, like working as a sales rep, hotel staff, or a chef. Recently, however, I would say more and more, especially younger generation, people are accepting, neatly trimmed facial hair. You can even buy a beard sticker, so you can enjoy having a beard look on the weekend or vacation. Then have clean face when you go back to the office.
Okay, that one sucks, very much so, because as you can tell, I have facial hair. And even speaking of, I need to shave soon because, yeah, like she said with hotel staff. So, yes, I am in the States, but even my hotel, they want me to be clean shaven, well, cleanly trimmed and stuff. That's why I get to keep my mustache and little goatee. But yeah, every day before work, I have to make sure I've got no stubble and stuff like that on my face, which is super annoying. And like, I want to work in a hotel when I get out there, so I'm probably gonna have to shave it all off. But while I'm here, I might as well enjoy it and keep it while I can, because it's hard for us to grow. Like, it's, my whole family is notorious for like not being able to grow facial hair. So that's why I keep it, myself. And I think I look good. Thank you very much. I have a little baby face when I shave my face, and I'd rather not have a little baby face, Let's keep going though.
Japanese people don't usually talk to strangers. But I know it's very different in America. When I took a flight in America, many people were talking with each other. I was surprised because many of them didn't know each other, but were chatting like old friends. Some of them even helped each other put things in the overhead storage. I was also shocked to find that when I walked in the store in the US, the shopkeeper started talking to me, hey, and then have a chit chat. Why are they talking to me? But after getting used to talking to a stranger everywhere, and when I came back to Japan, I missed it. I realized that having a small talk with a stranger or greeting to each other was such a pleasant moment to me. Before I got married with Mr. Eats, I was living in New Zealand, Christchurch, for a year and a half. I went to a grocery store by myself, and then I bought a bunch of chocolate. So I brought all the chocolate and cookies to the cashier, and there was the very handsome looking cashier. He's not as handsome as Mr. Eats, so he would greet me, right? Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? Good, good. Where are you from? I'm from Osaka, Japan. I was so nervous, right? Because I have never been, talked by a total stranger. When he finished putting all the chocolates in a huge bag, he said, see you later. I literally translated into Japanese. I will meet you later. Okay, so he wants to see me later after his work. Should I go back to ask him, what time do you finish your work? I didn't have guts to go back, so I just went back to my dormitory. As I told you, for Japanese, being spoken by a stranger or even cashier is such a surprising thing. It's not normal for us to talk openly with people we don't know. If a stranger talks with us, we are probably thinking, why is he or she talking to me? What do they want from me? And also some Japanese people are very self-conscious about their English skills. So if they are talked in English, they get really nervous and then they probably don't know what to say to you.
Hi.
Don't worry. Of course, there are people in Japan who enjoy small talk with strangers. Osaka is known as a place where people are more friendly. So, if you come here, more people might start chatting with you compared to other places in Japan. Of course, younger Japanese people tend to be friendlier to foreigners too. I think it's totally okay to talk to Japanese people when you come here. But please do not worry if the conversation doesn't go anywhere. Many people are just surprised when it does happen. Before we talk about...
For some reason, my phone recording stopped. If it's not the camera stopping, it's the dang screen recorder stopping. But let's keep going. Oh my goodness, this video is going to be so much fun to put together later in editing.
activity today. Making direct eye contact is something we don't do in Japan. Maybe you've seen this video where Mr. East talked about a creepy DVD that is supposed to help you with eye contact. That's because in Japan, we are told that too much eye contact is bad. So when you talk with a Japanese person, they might not make direct eye contact with you, but that doesn't mean they are not listening to you. Instead, we show attentiveness by making sound. When we show that we are listening to you, we say,
Yep.
You might think there are
No,
too
hold on.
many rules in Japan, but actually following those rules are very, very important in Japan. If you want to succeed and make a good life here, it's important to understand those different rules. I met many people who had a hard time dealing with these different kind of rules in Japan and eventually, hated living in Japan. I talk all about it in this video and how you can overcome these things to have a successful life in Japan. Thanks for watching.
I hope I don't hate
Okini.
it. I know I'm not gonna hate it. All right. Oh, look, there's the video she was talking about right there. The creepy eye contact video by Mr. Eats. But yeah, so that was it. That last one, I knew about like showing attentivity to a conversation. I didn't really know too much about the whole eye contact thing because like even right now I'm staring directly in the camera because I'm talking to you guys in the camera, and we're always told here that we have to maintain eye contact with people. We want to let them know that we're listening by showing them we're alert and looking at them and stuff. Like even when you're out on a date with somebody, like especially when you're out on a date with somebody, you're real tempted to look at like their appearance and stuff, but it's even bad to do that. You could take a quick glance like, oh, she's got pretty lips, like she's got nice cheeks, a pretty smile, whatever it may be, right? But the eyes, you want to stay in the eyes. So I don't know, I feel like it would be different to just be like, in the middle of a conversation. There it goes, stopping on me again. In the middle of a conversation was the last thing it picked up. Yeah, but like, we always stare. We stop and stare, and we stare and stare and stare, and I'm gonna keep all these things in the back of my mind. Hopefully when I move out there, I don't make any native Japanese people uncomfortable by the things that I do. So, because that's the last thing I want to do. And if I have to shave my face just to work in the hospitality industry, then I will do it. Because that is my industry. I've been working in it for 5 years now, and I hope to have my own property out there that I work and own and manage and all that fun jazz. So that was it for the video, y'all. I will see you guys in the next one. Please do like, comment, and subscribe because YouTube loves it. I hate to ask for myself, but YouTube asked me to ask you. So, anyway, y'all. Johnny.